Greetings and salutation, gamers. Welcome to Cast Co-op, the podcast in which three podcast hosts cast together. I am one of your hosts, Luke Lore, the insipid ghost and host of the Xbox Expansion Pass, joined by one of my two co-hosts, Mr. Ainsley Bowden of Seasoned Gaming. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good evening, everyone, or whenever you're listening to this. What's going on? I'm doing well. Yep, Ainsley Bowden, Seasoned Gaming, big cast. You know the drill.
That's right. That's right.
That's it. Simple. There's someone noticeably absent here. This is normally a three-person show.
It is normally a three-person show, and as the glue of the team, you know, here you and I are doing what it is we need to do. We should know, listeners, a bit of behind the scenes because we're typically a very professional outfit, as you know. We had to delay recording tonight because Ains had a whole lot of father stuff going on. He was making sure he could take care of his family, do all the right stuff. And I wanted to finish the Alan Wake DLC in Control. So we bonded on this. We're like, all right, you know what? 8:45, that's the time to record. It is now 8:56 and no Joseph Moran, the kid who said, I'll be there, guys. Don't you worry. Count on me.
The guy who said he was doing nothing this evening but playing Kena.
Yeah, he's like, guys, I got it. I'll just play Kena for a few minutes longer.
I'm posting on Twitter as we speak.
Yeah, literally right like 13 seconds ago on my screen, he's responding to people on Twitter. Just get a message from him right now in DMs. 5 minutes. What is this kid? What's he doing?
I got confused. How do you confuse 8:45 with 9:03?
You know this dude's sitting on the toilet right now. Like, oh, sorry, guys. That's my bad. Okay. Wish I could play Kena on a Switch or some dumb mess he's saying.
There's a reason we call him Mr. Bad Take.
He is Mr. Bad Take. He really is. Honestly, he's just the worst. He finally got a real job. He's bogged down with all this. It's crazy. Ains, there is not a lot of game news, which means we've got a few listener questions for this episode. I'm excited to talk about what we've been playing for a couple different reasons, not just because it's like, oh, what we've been playing, but there's a rabbit hole I want to take us down as far as Control and Alan Wake Remastered, which is a joy. I know you are keen to share some of your excitement with the Halo Infinite flights that are coming up this weekend and next. Is that right?
Yeah. 2 weekends back to back, baby.
All right. So tell me, good sir, what's happening with Halo this coming up weekend? This will post before that goes live, and by the time people are listening, you'll have your helmet on going for it, right?
Yeah. In fact, this will post like 2 hours before the first flight starts. So, because we post Friday, something like that. Anyway, Friday morning, just before the first flight. I think it starts at noon Pacific on Friday. But anyway, it's going to be amazing. So for Halo fans, so this weekend, as you're listening to this, is going to be the flight returning. They're doing only specific times though, so check their official times because it's not going to be live all weekend like it was last time. They're basically trying to crush their servers to get ready for launch. This weekend is going to be 4v4 Slayer with a new map that wasn't in the last flight, and this is not bots, right? This is 4v4 player on player. They also have the full academy mode with training, meaning you can go into a map by yourself and play against bots. You can set up custom matches. You can do all that. They also have new progression, new battle pass stuff that they're going to test out, new armors, things like that, that you're going to be able to play as well. And then next weekend, after you're listening to this, is they're releasing Big Team Battle for the first time. The first we're going to see 12v12 Big Team Battle on Halo. So,
which is a big deal for a lot of reasons, especially because 5 didn't launch with it.
Correct. And this is dedicated maps finally back there. It's like a fully featured big team mode, which is my favorite mode in Halo. So I am just over the moon about it. Do we want to let Joe in? I mean, I think we're probably having a better show without him.
We're having a better show without him. Like there's no reason, honestly.
Yeah, I know. Did he shave his head? Is he trying to look like me? What is this?
Honestly, if he is, I'm gonna give him a whole lot of mess. Now he's talking in this private chat over here.
There's a private chat?
There is. Yep. All right, let him in. You're muted, dummy. You're muted, you dummy. Your mic's not even on.
I take no responsibility.
This dumb kid. We delay. And you're like, cool, I'll play Kena.
Yeah.
You're tweeting while we're here waiting for you.
All right. So let me explain. I got confused because I was using the central time, so I thought AIDS meant 8 Central Time or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So it's I'm
We
just
never
saying.
said 8. It was 7:45.
I thought somewhere in the private chat we said 8.
We said 8 EST, but it literally said EST.
All right. Well, we all make
5
mistakes.
EST.
Yeah, we all make mistakes. How's everybody, huh?
Good. You
We're
shave your
good.
head, man? What's going
Yeah.
on?
You look
I
good.
like it.
I was also late because I got the inside scoop. I got some insider knowledge.
You got some insight. No, okay, now fun fact. I'm also an insider because my email officially said insider this time.
No way.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's true.
So-
right.
It's true. I like it, man. I like that you're honoring me with a shaved head. I appreciate it.
Well, it's out of 1.
It's at a 1. That's actually what I use on my head. I just don't fill it in all the way.
When I got a haircut today, when I went in, I said, they said, okay, do you want the standard? Da-da-da-da? I was like, just give me the Ainsley Bowden on the side.
Oh,
That's what I want on the side. And they were like, no problem. We
I
got
give you the 0.
Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, man. Joe, we're talking about Halo being an insider. We're talking about these flights. Now, Ains, I should say, with these Halo flights, you said they're trying to crush the servers in little time period slots.
Yeah.
But what about playing bots in private matches on the off times? Are we going to be able to do that?
So everything except for the player versus player matchmaking will be live the whole weekend. So you can still get into the game. You can still customize your Spartan. You can still mess around with the battle pass. You can even Unisec confirmed you can complete challenges in the bots mode in Academy. So like if you're playing against bots in Academy, you can still complete challenges, get XP, battle pass. But matchmaking will only be at specific times. And we were talking about Big Team Battle when Joe came in, but Big Team Battle, I don't know if you guys read, it was a very long update they gave yesterday, like a written update. Of course,
reading.
So they actually mentioned Warzone, which I know you guys love. And they not that it's coming to Infinite, but what they said is they wanted Big Team to retain the feeling of team versus team, big team battle, like traditional Halo vehicles, capture the flag, all kinds of chaos that happens. But the reason they made it 12 on 12 is because of some of the learnings from Warzone and getting that more kind of larger epic experience with bigger maps and bigger teams. So just sounds incredible, man. I'm pumped.
What'll be interesting to see with this is the reception to the masses, given how good the first flight was, or how well received it was, and the very tepid response to Call of Duty Vanguard's beta that has been going on, and many media outlets are not talking about it, and what is being said is not showing well for a lot of reasons. Aimbots, people are consistently bringing up the lawsuits, people are consistently pointing out the gameplay doesn't look good, and there's a general lack of enthusiasm around another World War II shooter. Yeah. So it's like the tale of two games.
And Battlefield was delayed officially since we last spoke.
Yep,
that's true, but only by a month.
Someone I know called that, but I forget his name now.
Oh, come on, give me my props. Come on now.
You did say it was getting delayed. I said it should be delayed. You said it was getting delayed. Although I don't know if a 3-week delay, I'll give you half a point. 3-week delay doesn't count. Man, 2020.
That's got all the red flags that Battlefield does. All the red flags.
I actually applaud Call of Duty for really reaching out and collabing with Remedy to bring the control enemies into Call of Duty Vanguard. That's just
I didn't
awesome.
see this. What happened?
You haven't seen these graphical glitches? Oh my god.
Oh my god, it looks like the orbs in Control that rip apart rooms. That's what looks like it's happening in Call of Duty maps. It is bonkers. That game is on fire. I honest to God, and I know some of our friends have pre-ordered it. Yep. Why? This does not. This is a car crash. We're seeing it right here. It's gonna be awful. And everybody's like, no, well, like no. Why?
If there was ever a year to skip it, it's this one.
Yes.
And I will say it's very odd to me that Call of Duty, it's not odd in the business sense because they're money mongering fools, but it's very odd to me that they wouldn't just say, all right, take a year. We've got Warzone, we've got income. Yeah. And they wouldn't just take the pandemic year, take the L there and take the big W they get from Warzone and just make it work, because destroying franchise reputability is not a good move. See Halo, right? Which we all love, but again, we're talking about the masses, the kids, we're talking about everybody. if they burn bridges, people won't try and traverse over them later.
Yeah. I mean, speaking about crashes, like we're witnessing Activision going 90 and right about to meet a brick wall. It seems like you got the Blizzard stuff happening, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
SEC opened a federal investigation into Activision Blizzard yesterday, and then the head legal counsel, literally the top legal counsel lawyer for Blizzard, quit today. So I mean, yeah, they're falling apart. Freaking Bobby Kotick has been subpoenaed. So,
I know,
dude.
I just said that really weird, but that's okay. We're gonna move on.
In the beginning, I was like, "Oh, Bobby just got more powerful." Now I'm like, if you're in the board, why are you sticking with this guy? And I think the Call of Duty Vanguard it leans on. It's safe to say that that's going to be a flop, considering Call of Duty's pedigree. Hopefully that is the thing that pushes this company over the edge to kick this guy out, because it ain't working, gang.
And let's give
it's headed towards cataclysm over there, man.
Let's give a heartfelt shout out to the people working on that game, because we're not talking about you guys. We are not talking about you guys. That's the worst part about all of it.
Yeah, I mentioned to Steve over at SG today, because he said he knows someone who is a lower level, like I think an environment artist or someone at Activision. And I was like, that's got to be a terrible place to be in right now, because you're literally watching the company kind of fall apart. Fall apart's a broad term, but you know what I mean. All of this is happening, and the people who are executives can just leave because they have the ability to do so. They're either millionaires or they'll get hired somewhere else. Whereas if you're like an aspiring artist who's trying to build a career, you can't just jump to another company. It doesn't happen like that. Yeah. So it's tough, man. I feel for them.
Yeah, it really is a crappy situation that they find themselves in. And this holiday season as well, it's just a lot of weird delays. Like, yeah, the Battlefield one by 3 weeks is... It seems like we got to get it out this holiday. So now let's. Yeah. I feel like Battlefield really could have benefited from the Halo approach.
Yes.
Where they have this. What's the Battlefield thing where they throw everything in the kitchen sink in? I think it's Portal.
Levolution? No.
Portal. Yeah. Oh, the new thing they're doing.
Exactly. If they just delayed that to the spring, and they're just like, here's the nuts and bolts multiplayer that you know and love. I think they would have been able to hit that release, but this Battlefield seems to try or is trying to do a lot, and I feel like just in this, pandemic year, it's just like you can't. Like there's already development is already impossible. You're just even making it more so. It's just it's crazy to me. That said, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm boycotting Halo. I'm not gonna play it because it's incomplete, because it doesn't have co-op.
I don't even know it exists. Yeah.
It doesn't. Not until Forge is there.
Exactly.
I do want to. I bumped elbows with one or two, kind of like your friend Steve Ains, a couple low level with Battlefield, and not good. Right, again, was the general vibe there, and I cited on the last XEP what you were saying on Bitcast, Ains, that it feels like a financial move, and it just sucks that has to be a reality, because in a year with Halo, in a year with a lot of decent games coming out in this fall window, just move it. That would be a perfect. Forgive February. Sorry, February. That'd be a great February game, because there's no other military shooter coming out. Put it in there.
That's the thing. They could have launched any time in the first half of next year and been alone.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, we keep pumping up Halo. Halo had its year delay, right? Yeah. I mean, Halo was a 2020 game, so the only reason that we're confident in it now and the flights feel so good is because they had the extra time. Yeah. I don't get it. I've continue to not understand it, especially when you have big time examples. As I'm sitting here wearing the shirt, sitting in the chair, but I mean, Cyberpunk is the biggest, most recent example where that crushed the company badly for a little while. I don't know why we're not learning from this.
I think they think they could take the hit. It's really just to appease shareholders, because I feel like if they delay it, then the faith in that company to deliver and Bobby is going to go all the way down. And
we're talking about Call of Duty or Battlefield?
Yeah, I'm talking Call of Duty.
I thought we shifted to Battlefield. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
You shut your beautiful mouth. Anyway,
I'll kiss you.
but yeah,
I'll kiss you right now.
Guys, I gotta run.
Oh, jeez. Oh, things are getting really hot and heavy here. But yeah, and I think that's why they should delay it, but they won't. And it's going to be a very foolish move, especially for that franchise. But even then, I think they could take the hit. And then, next year they'll be like, and we're back. This one's the one we listen to the fans one. So, I don't know, man. Very weird. Very, very weird state of the industry right now. Because we're all in a weird flux. I don't know.
Everything's weird. There's this huge carryover gap between PS4 and Xbox One through to current gen, which nobody can seem to get their hands on because of the chip shortage. The games are cross-gen, but it's showing their age. It was showing their age at the end of last gen.
Yeah.
And now it's just hard to get a game out the door on the level at which some of these first parties need to deliver. Third parties, I think, have some wiggle room, but first parties, when the word exclusive gets thrown around, that's a high level of pressure. And Halo and Horizon and Forza Horizon are our first example, and Gran Turismo. I'm sorry. So we have 4 kind of coming up in this next window of time to show off some stuff.
Did you see the Steelbook edition? Ooh.
I tried to buy it because I'm a slut for Steelbooks, right? But I have this weird glitch where every time I try to buy something from PlayStation Direct, it gives me a weird error.
Oh,
it's like
that's good. You know what it is? It's probably because PS is dead.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, they just shut it all down.
Yeah, I called Jim Ryan's phone and it was like off the hook. It's very weird.
Well, he had a dance lesson. He had to get
1-800-LION Ryan.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's been that way for ever since he said he was doing it for the kids.
How many times have we gotten a joke in the last 3 weeks about the terms Jim Ryan, acquisition season, and insiders? Those are the 3 pillars of humor this past few weeks.
It's really it's nonsense. I'm so tired of it. It's like it's so dumb. It's so low common denominator. Everybody's going to say the same thing. What's Xbox or Microsoft going to buy? It's like Take Two. It's like no, just knock it off.
WB. Everybody wants WB. Because that's a good optic. Optically, it's like, they need a buyer and they need superheroes. Here we go.
Sure. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
It benefits Microsoft. Let's do it. And it's just like, it's just the same old conversation we've been having for a year and a half.
It's echo chamber, man. I get it. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. I said this on Twitter. I'm like, when it happens, we'll talk about it. But I find that it is the most boring conversation. It's gotten to be the most boring conversation to have because it's just constant. How big would it be if WB Games, was bought by Microsoft? It'd be gigantic. That's it. End of story. How many times do we have to regurgitate that? But it's also funny to see that those same people this week kind of egg on the face.
egg on the face, and I think they're also starting to realize that the shtick is played out. Right? Like people are starting to call them out and be like, just stop with this nonsense. Especially when you have bigger people in the industry, whatever you want to call it, calling it out too. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I appreciate when the bigger people with the high level journalists or people that work at the studios that are being discussed call out some of this debauchery that some of these high level YouTubers and insiders make. I appreciate when it gets called out because what that does is work towards clearing the messaging for the future. The reason people get expectations daunted so often is because they build this hype train and somebody goes live the moment someone sneezes to talk for an hour and a half about whatever the topic is of the day, and it develops a narrative of its own, and the easiest way to control a narrative is to get out ahead of it. So I appreciate when people reach out from studios and say, hey, just to clarify expectations, this is what's happening. Aaron Greenberg did that about Tokyo Game Show because they've got a good long show. for Xbox, but they specifically said this is region specific. This is about building relationships. The unannounced things are not meant to blow the world off. We're not announcing that Rocksteady is now combining with WB Montreal to form Take-Two 5. You know, like it's not happening.
It's not happening.
And it's sad that it's kind of that is the case because you can't even have like your hopes up a little bit because YouTube is such a way where it's all about building hype. It's all about celebrating the brand loyalty, the fanboyism. And it's really less about, actual conversation and discourse. It's just the discourse you want to hear. And it's really sad when like PR has to get out ahead of it because YouTuber X, Y, and Z just said that 2K is up for sale because they read a article from comicbook.com. And when I mean read, I mean skimmed over. And
I tracked that source, by the way. That was from 3 or 4 like vague tweets that people put together. It was embarrassing.
Comicbook.com is like the National Enquirer of video game news. I mean, they are just horrendous. Like I literally have them blocked, and I block almost nobody.
Yeah, it's enough. It's like it's just enough. And as much as again, like acquisitions are exciting, it's like. How long can we have this conversation,
dude? And we've never been in a time for more games. Like there's so many fantastic games to look forward to, not only play but look forward to. Like let's talk about those for God's sakes.
Yeah,
right.
Stop chasing clout. It's so annoying and it's so obvious. It's like top YouTuber says a thing, and then all the little YouTubers that don't know how to schedule out videos or make content originally or organically, or like. Oh, big YouTuber says this. I'll say
8
the same
hours
thing.
later.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, who cares?
I have a theory about why this is happening now more than any other, and check me on it. Let me know if I'm wrong. I think part of it's due to work from home, not just because we're all stressed and in this like condensed feeling, because many places have opened up, right, for better or worse. But I think it's also the lack of trade shows that are going on, the lack of people visiting PAX, bumping elbows, shaking hands, doing behind closed doors in the ways that were once happening, because that allowed for eyes on to take place, people to go hands on with things, for things to be said in different ways. And without that, people are left to speculate more. And the more speculation, the more things spiral out of control. What do you guys think about that thought?
I think that's a piece of it, in my opinion. I think the other piece is because everyone's been at home, just like we've seen this explosion of kind of podcasts and content creators, right? And I think a lot of new people who didn't originally kind of plan to get in the space got into it and realized that building an audience isn't easy. It's a lot of work, takes a lot of time. Few people know that more than the three of us sitting here right now. And so what's the cheapest and easiest way to do that when you have no talent of your own? And I'll just say it point blank, is to just mimic others and try and get in with the people who do have an audience. And that's what you see out of all these people.
Yep. Yeah. And you see it, and it's so obvious. It is for clout, it's for attention. I don't know who didn't hug said people enough, but it's and when they go live, and the real actual talent is live at the same time, their numbers just get dwarfed. Everybody leaves, and it's so apparent that it's like you're not the it factor, you're just imitation, and people will go to the actual original commenter. And it's funny to see that. And when I take a look at some of these people that are like, I got the inside source, and they may not be the biggest sources here, but I got them. It's like, no, you don't. Someone told you, gave you a winky face smiley emoji, and you're going with it. It's like you don't, and what you're ending up doing is harming not just the brand that you've made, but you're also harming developers and people that are actually making the game, because people then have these false realities that have been built up, their expectations built up, and the people that are going to pay are the people that have literally nothing to do with it. That always just irks me.
Yep.
It's funny how over it. I don't know if it's just me in our chats that like our private, but I'm so over it.
You've been amusing. I will say that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just done with it. I think I'm just done with it. There's too much real stuff going on, and maybe this is again just a Luke thing. But I'm just tired of it. I can't. There's too much to enjoy.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Someone said in my classroom, because I work at pretty much like the media center, so it's like books and games, and one person said, "Oh, you put a lot of sauce on that hit," because they were playing ping pong, and I literally fucking cringed. I cringed so, and the thought came to my mind: my parents know what I do, and they're proud of me. Does their parents know? Do they show them like the thumbnails and the videos? Because it would be nothing. Like if my kid showed me that, I would feel absolute shame.
Like, oh, I sent that kid to college. All right.
Yeah, like I paid for this kid's degree, and this is what he did with it.
I've always thought that too. It's like, 10 years from now, or a time period from now, when you look back on the content you've created and your kids find it, or whatever, like, are you going to be proud of that content, or are you going to be cringing at it yourself? Because I know the answer for myself, but I think I know the answer for a lot of people out there too.
I think that's an interesting thing. Like, we're now into an area of discussion that I think is very video game relevant, but not about the game specifically. It's the conversations that go around them. The way that we and any other content creators conduct ourselves cultivates an audience, and that audience that we surround ourselves with kind of is cyclical and has a snowball effect on whatever message we send, whatever message we hear. And that's a scary thing, because it can go so negative. And that's where you get these major big influencer people that then have to try and check their audiences. And it scares me when that's a possibility. And that just worries me, because I think about the mental health side of the industry for game developers and whatnot. And I think they're greatly affected by the content creator delivery of content.
I mean, great point. God of War gets revealed. Some loser finds like, the way Kratos gets in the boat from Ragnarok to the previous game is the same exact thing. Sony ponies are lazy or whatever. And you had developers that get a paycheck from Microsoft going, tell me how you know nothing
that was
about
Sadie
game
Boyd
development.
at Arcane. Yeah, that was Sadie Boyd.
Tell me you know nothing about game development, but don't tell me you know nothing about game development. Like that's what we actually probably need to see more of. Yes. It's just that toxic nature is just so, who wants to wrangle with it? No one does. I don't.
Right.
So like, yeah, you're 110% right, man. It's we really have to check ourselves and the audiences that we make, because they are to me, they are the carbon copy of yourself. It's you at the end of the day. And if your chat's toxic, if your audience is toxic, if you say one thing that, or you make that one mistake and your audience is out for blood, and you have to make a tweet going, hey man, it's just games, nothing personal. Guess what? You're a toxic creator. You may not think it, but if that's the audience that you're getting, and that's how visceral they are, got to change it. Got to make a turn somewhere.
Yep. It's been interesting, I think, to watch these narratives play out, but I go back to the big thing. I'm so appreciative when people like Sadie Boyd or Greenberg, or I forget that there was a PlayStation developer. Corey Barlog's always vocal, but when people go out on social spaces and check that idea, like, what did you want Kratos to backflip into the boat? Shut your mouth. He was it was one of the best games ever made. Like, whatever. It's just such a great game. Why are you upset? He's getting into a boat so you can play more God of War.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's still swinging from webs. How many years later? Get a car. Like, what?
You don't get it. The stance when he web slings is the same from the comic book. Yeah, it's like, it's a lot. And to think about Corey Barlog for a second, he posted his Series X that he got.
Yeah, he did.
We need more of that.
It's just games. Like,
just games.
All of these developers are gamers too. Like, they enjoy it And I think it was Sadie as well. He even called out. She said something to the effect of like, if you guys actually think that developers and the people who actually work on these games have any investment into the console plastic, she said you're fooling yourself. Like they don't look at the platforms, they look at what's being created.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys see Pete Hines, pro Xbox developer, wanted to help his voice actor find a PS5 so he could play the game that he's voice acting in?
It's
Did
awesome.
you guys see this? Like,
No,
that's just cool. That's just cool. Like, yeah, do we need to get you a PlayStation so you can play the game that you are part of?
For Deathloop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was for Deathloop. I don't remember. I don't. Is Colt? I have not played Deathloop. I'm so sorry. I know everyone's playing it. My bandwidth has been smaller. I have not touched it yet. But yeah, Pete Hines is out there tweeting like, "Let's find him a PlayStation."
Yeah,
right. Like that's cool. That's how it should be.
More of that, please.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go for it.
Well, no, I saw the same thing happen when Spider-Man and Wolverine got revealed. All the Marvel creators that surround the game that I like were all like, "This is awesome. This is great," and then they started getting flack because their stuff doesn't look like it. But then the Spider-Man and Wolverine people were like, "No, everyone's making Marvel games, and that's what people want to play." And like, that's cool. It doesn't matter we should just be able to celebrate the game part.
I don't think so. I think we need to be angry all the time.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
I think.
Well, there we go.
Hey, did we talk about the PlayStation event last time we were on?
On this show?
Yeah, that was our entire show.
Oh,
I think we did. Yeah.
Listen, it's been a crazy few weeks because I just think back of that Wolverine reveal. I'm like, you know what? We're all good.
Yeah, this is nice.
This is nice.
Let me sum up the last show. Insomniac's making it. We don't know anything about it, but we're excited and we're happy.
Right.
And that was it. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, cool. I want to take you guys down a different rabbit hole, back to more of a what we've been playing approach, because I want to hear some early impressions of your Kenna and
Is it Kenna or Kena?
Well.
It's Kena.
It's Kena. I heard someone say Kenna today, and I think I just ran with it, but I've been calling it Kena.
Because in all seriousness, I didn't know either, so now we know.
Well, I do want to talk about that.
Hispanic 1, white 0. Continue.
That's not the score. I regret that joke, but it was funny.
It's good.
Good.
My boy Pampa's going to get a good laugh at that one.
Yeah. All right. Collect. All right. So with Alan Wake Remastered coming, Luke Lore was like, you know what? I'm going to go play that Alan Wake DLC on Control. So the journey that I went on is I booted up the Xbox One version because that had my save file. That's the game that I played on Xbox One X. And it was a rough experience. Do you guys remember your PS4 Pro and Xbox One X? It's a distant memory, right?
Darker time.
Very dark, yes. I did not enjoy Control as much. I mean, it was very, very good. But there was 2-minute load times, and you're waiting, and there's stuttering and hitching and crashing. And to go back and play Alan Wake it's on the Series X, but playing the Xbox One version, playing the Alan Wake DLC, I should say, it was rough. It was rough. It was great if you've not played Ultimate Edition. But what I did, as soon as I finished that expansion DLC, I booted up Control Ultimate Edition, which remember had the hoopla about not being smart delivery and such. I have it. It was $20, whatever. That is a different experience altogether. And what I did was I played back through all of Control and its expansions. I finished it 10 minutes before we went live. That was Joe, and you were supposed to be here on time. Mm-hmm. I went down these YouTube videos, hearing the story.
Such a piece of trash.
I was able to know the story of Control because it wasn't hitching and having problems. And one, Sam Lake is insane. And how connected these two universes really are, and like what's actually happening between Alan Wake and Control. So that's its own story because Alan Wake's coming back. Quite separately, it was really cool to compare an Xbox One game and an Xbox Series X game, both being played on Series X. It was a completely different experience, and yet the same experience. It was just so much smoother. I could enjoy the game, no crashes, no hitching. And it made all the difference in enjoying a game like that. Mm-hmm. All the difference. That was the journey I went on. And I was wondering if you guys have had that happen yet, or if you remember your PS4 Pros and Xbox Ones, like where you're at on any of that.
Man, it's night and day. Like, I remember playing Control when it was on PlayStation Plus because I'm no chump. And I was like, wow, this game truly is the game of the year when you take out all the just barely a FPS on screen, and now you
Right.
have this, fluid 60 or the filmic 30, and it was just such a it was such a night and day experience for me. I know, like, playing some games, like right now with Deathloop, I know when I'm playing some games, I'm like, okay, so how is this next gen? How and could I see this being played on a previous gen console? I don't know if you guys do that, but I do it all the time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, Ains?
No.
When you're playing Deathloop, you're like, I'm pretty sure this could be played on Xbox One.
No. I don't really think about it. I've gotten so used to the smoothness of the new games. I'm spoiled now. I do think I can't go back.
Yeah.
But I'm not mentally comparing the two anymore, really. I think I've just gotten used to it.
It's as a primarily Xbox gamer, I wonder if that factors, because a lot of what I played and still play on my Xbox Series X is Xbox One stuff that has been upgraded to now Series X versions. And I'm thinking about like something like Sea of Thieves, right? I'm not playing the Xbox One version. I'm playing the Series X version on my Series X as opposed to the Xbox One version on Series X. And that's a night and day difference as well.
Yeah, most of the big games I play have been updated, right? So, and I think more and more, like even I was talking about playing Tales of Iron, this little indie game that I've been playing, even that's optimized. So, like, I think most of the games coming out now are optimized. It's not this last gen thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird to think how many games launched on Xbox One and PS4 that really just should have been this gen. You know what I mean? You can look at my favorite punching bag Avengers and how cruddy that one was at launch. So at least now it's much more playable for even if you don't like it. It's
playable is the word.
From a hardware perspective, looking back, I was kind of thinking back while you were talking there. I think Xbox One and PS4 would be the weakest systems at launch for any of the generations compared to what's on the marketplace for hardware. So if you look at like Xbox, the original Xbox was actually a pretty powerhouse because it was just PC parts thrown together. PS2 was up there. Then PS3 was unique but pushed the boundaries. Xbox 360 ushered in the HD gen. And then now Series X, PS5 are powerhouses too, at least out of the gate, whereas Xbox One was pretty much dated when it launched.
Yeah, it was. It couldn't even do 1080p, right? It was doing 900.
It did 1080p, not effortlessly, yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't miss? Load times.
Yeah, load times are crazy, man.
Yeah.
When I play Prey now, I revisited Prey after Deathloop. The load times in that game at launch on Xbox One were like a minute and a half to go into a level. Now they're like 6 seconds. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Even Ghost of Tsushima, like instant. And that game's loading was already impressive. Like I'm playing Kina and the game loads in 3 seconds. It's like wizards.
That's so cool. That's so cool. It's just a good feeling when that happens. And it's funny how much that allows you to stay immersed. My phone doesn't get picked up while I'm playing games, I often like to watch or listen to content if I'm playing a game that I'm comfortable with. I don't get to change and pause and stuff on that because I'm just still in the game, which is wild to me.
God bless Spotify.
Yeah.
And the integration, because I'm just like, I'm playing on my PlayStation 5, but I'm controlling it on my iPhone. Like it's this chef's kiss. What I'm really getting at here is I like my PlayStation 5 and my Xbox,
No.
Yeah.
You've got to pick one.
No,
that's right.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the battery life on this thing apparently is only 10 minutes long. But I enjoy that 10 minutes.
It's not great, but it's way better than I think people give it credit for.
Yeah, always, all the time, just complaining, Never happy about a goddamn single thing.
I also wanted to ask, kind of related to my control thing, I really went down the rabbit hole of listening to YouTube videos and figuring out how these universes were connected And I know the joke is that I'm a lore buff, but this was more of a science thing to hear and compare the two. I was curious if either of you have ever gone down a rabbit hole in such that you were like learning about stories to games in order to get more out of it.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, Dark Souls, World of Warcraft, Bloodborne.
Dark Souls, Bloodborne are very good examples because there's a lot of cryptic stuff in those games, but the lore is incredibly deep. Halo is an obvious one.
Sure.
Also, like, what's the guy, like, Byfear or whatever? There's, like, a couple of guys that have these just very soft, like, subtle British tones. It's like, hello, everyone. Today, I'm talking about the work.
I know who you're talking about. That's the funniest thing. That impression, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name.
I'm talking about the Bloodhurst Castle in Bloodborne. And
I don't know who you're talking. You're not talking about Vadi.
Maybe I'm talking about Vadi, but I'm like,
Vadi Vidya.
I'm soothed. This is borderline.
Oh, his
ASMR.
voice is amazing.
Yeah.
He's the biggest one, right, for content creation for the Soulsborne stuff. But I didn't know if you were talking about someone else.
Yeah. I've been listening to a place called the Gaming University, and it's a guy who he has Asperger's, talks about it on his channel, but uses his unique view on the world as a result of Asperger's to just go into these massive details, these massive games, and extract the details and connect the dots to both the fiction that they've created and real world science. I was learning about synchronicity, which is a concept. It's like an idea, which I won't bore you with. But as a result of learning what Sam Lake was writing with Alan Wake and Control, and it's like less than 1% of gamers are getting this out of playing Control or Alan Wake. And it's there. And I wonder how much I've missed in other games from doing it. I first had this thought like when I played Arkham City and I discovered an Easter egg that I was like, I never would have found that if I wasn't looking for it. How much of that game would I have missed if I hadn't cared? And then how much of these worlds have these creators made for us? Haven't touched it. Like you're talking about Bloodborne. I'm sure there are Bibles filled with like things they can do and not do, you know?
Yeah.
Did you, not to change the subject, but there's a movie called Synchronic, which plays on that concept of synchronicity. Came out like 2 years ago. It's actually a pretty good movie. You should check it out.
Yeah, I'll jot it down. That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's actually based like in the movie. There's a drug called Synchronic that people take, and it plays on that theme.
The easiest way to explain synchronicity, Joe, is like coincidences that kind of come from things that you've been thinking about. Like, you know, when you think about something and then it happens or something like it happens fairly soon after. Yeah. It's the easiest, most bare bones way to explain it.
The movie Deja Vu with Denzel Washington?
I have not seen
I don't think I've seen it.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Well, you guys
Could
are
be
true Denzel fans.
Man on fire, man. Man on fire.
What a great film. What a great film. My God.
There are two Denzel gifs that I use all the time when he's hitting the desk. That's one of my favorites.
There you go.
And then he's like, my man. Those are the other two. Yep, those are the two. Oh man. So that was just a rabbit hole that I enjoyed and wanted to go down because it was just a neat feeling to have this kind of time. And I'm sitting on Psychonauts 2, which I know everyone's super excited about. I'm ready to finally like go for that one. And by the time that's done, Alan Wake Remastered will be out.
2 weeks. I'm super excited. As you were talking, I realized it's 2 weeks away.
Oh gosh.
Very excited for it.
Yeah.
Very excited for it.
Wow.
Because I enjoyed Control immensely. And so like with Alan Wake, I know it's a much different game, but like just to get back into a similar but now same universe, like I am all in on that. So I can't wait.
One of the doors in the hotel in Control, remember the hotel you have to go through?
Yes.
The spiral door is Alan Wake's world. And the pyramid door is the oldest house. That hotel that has all those doors that we've not gone down, that's the universe that you're going through. And like you can go into Alan Wake's world and they're all connected. It's really like I really dove into this thing. It's neat. And somebody was high as a kite when they wrote this, which is wild.
Acid be dropping.
Oh yeah. But that's a good game for you to play spooky wise. Without it being super scary. That's a good non-horror spooky game to play.
Alan Wake, you mean?
Yeah, for the month of Halloween or the month of October, but with Halloween, like sometimes we all like spooky, but horror isn't everybody's bag. Alan Wake's perfect for October.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see because I heard inside source Microsoft's gonna buy Remedy, so who knows? Next week
they're gonna buy the company that just got out of any exclusivity deal, so they could put things everywhere. Right. Yeah. Yep. This makes sense to me. Yes.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Phil told me on the phone.
Oh, there you go. Hey, tell him I said hi.
I'm announcing it with him on Thanksgiving.
Oh, dude, Ains, that's so cool.
Cool.
I actually told him not to acknowledge you, just not even your show, not even the achievement of hitting over 100 episodes. I just said never again. And he's like, I got you. Best friend in the world.
That's cool. That's cool. Xbox didn't notice, but so many really cool people did. And that was the best feeling in the world. Yeah. Yeah. To have my moment. You know what I mean? Like,
no, your mom called me on the phone. She told me how proud she was of you.
It was cool to have my moment. And so I was appreciative of that.
I told her, don't call me at work.
All right.
Don't call me. I'm laying right next to you.
Oh no, Ains. It's my mother. Oh man. So Ains put out a tweet on the Cast Co-op Twitter, which we never use, asking for questions. He said we record tomorrow.
I put this one out, did I? Okay.
Yeah, I have not read it. I'm catching up on it.
Okay.
We record tomorrow, and the news is light. This means it's listener mail time. Please ask us things. Otherwise, we listen to Luke talk about Avengers. That's rude, Ains. And I'll tell you all about the free Cyberpunk chair I got. Ains, you get a free Cyberpunk chair?
This is widely known.
I'm bald. That's what it says. Oh man. So we had a few people write in. One of them being famous Seamus, who is always supportive of everything. He's amazing. He said, since Kenna, Spirit of Spirits and Spirits, created by the makers of Zelda, Terrible Fate, short film is out. What are some of your favorite fan created contents, art, music, short films, comics, whatever? That's a fun question.
It is, if you could read it properly.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that's not my favorite one is the Majora's Mask fan trailer from Ember Labs. Like that one to me, like, oh my god, there was nothing better. Like they got everything right, and then they had just such an adult tone over something that was serious in the game for sure, but it was always like kiddie in a way. Like it was kind of shielded for the younger viewers. This was way more like horror-esque. I loved it. I show that short to everyone. I'm like, look at this thing that I loved when I was 7. Someone made this. And they're like, all right, Joe, go back. Luke smiles like, go back to bed. I'm like, all right.
I don't know if I have an example here. The first thing that came to mind was Red versus Blue.
Okay, it's a great one, dude.
It's like a legendary show, in the gaming community. But I was also thinking, have you guys ever seen, this is from like a decade ago now, but it was the supposed 2-minute trailer for the Halo movie by Neil Blomkamp that was supposed to be made.
No.
I feel like I've seen it a long time ago.
Yeah, it's old now, but it's still amazing if you go back and watch it. It was after Halo 3 came out, or around Halo Reach, somewhere around there. But basically, it looks like an actual movie trailer with Spartans and brutes and everything, and it just looks fantastic. And I've always loved that.
Are you sure these aren't the commercials that you're thinking of?
Nope, trust me.
No,
honestly,
okay.
I do. Perfect director for a Halo film.
Well, there was a rumor for a long time that this was him coming off of what was it, District 13?
District 9.
Yeah.
District 9.
Yeah.
Is it 9? Where did I get 13 from?
13. There's a movie called District B13, and it's a really cool parkour martial arts movie. That's obviously where you're getting it. Okay. Everybody knows it. It's in French.
Master Chief parkours. You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, that's where it kind of started. I think there was a rumor at the time that he was trying to get it made. Steven Spielberg was going to produce, and things have fallen apart with Halo for a decade plus in terms of movies. So we'll see if this show's any good. Yeah, we'll see if it's any good. I hope.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I had a couple that came to mind on this one. There was a really good Power Rangers short made by an actual real director, but he made an unofficial Power Rangers like 15-minute thing. Mm-hmm. I want to say James Van Der Beek was in it as well, maybe. But like it was really hyper violent and really cool, and their Rangers were dead and torn up. It was a really cool concept. It was legit cool.
Oh my god! You know what was another really great one?
What's that?
The Uncharted one made by like Nathan Fillion,
Yeah.
starring Nathan Fillion.
That was cool.
Because it's like, yeah, this is something
that was good.
everybody really actually wanted, and now we're gonna get the Tom Holland one.
Way back before the Green Lantern movie disgraced theaters, there was a really good Green Lantern fan-made trailer that combined voiceover and elements from other movies, and that was really cool. It was way better than the Ryan Reynolds movie.
I want to see it just to see it. Just to
What, the Ryan Reynolds movie?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard to find. You could.
Are you talking about Fall Guy?
No. I saw that.
No, he said Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Oh, Green Lantern. I'm sorry.
It's not
I didn't hear
good.
Green Lantern.
I love
No,
Green Lantern. It's not good.
Yeah.
Like, you know how we argue about like things like The Last Jedi and Zack Snyder and stuff. Those are at the very least well-made movies, and you can dislike the story or the acting or whatnot.
Sure.
This is just a bad all around everything. But thankfully, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are both in the movie, gorgeous, and they made a kid in real life as a result of that movie. So there's that.
Yeah.
You know,
At least someone fell in love.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I'm trying to find this old Halo movie trailer, and I'm failing.
I think you just dreamed it.
Nope.
Let's see. Hometown hero, our buddy Kev. He asks if Battlefield bombs when they inevitably patch it back to being awesome, as they've done with every Battlefield. Will anyone care at that point?
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the problem, right? Is like then you try to recover, but you're going to lose the majority of your fan base. There's too much competition in that space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I still think they should just delay it until it's ready. And Battlefield hasn't launched well in 15 years to begin with, even when they've had time. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be bad. I mean, it's worked out for Cyberpunk. They patched it. It's fixed, right? Oh, it's not fixed, and it's still broken, and it's still not on next gen.
All right, calm down. Calm
Explain
down. Now
the
you're just throwing stuff out there.
Tell people the truth.
You know what I have to ask is always, have you played it, Luke?
I don't need to.
No,
okay?
no, of course
I don't need
not.
to.
No, of course not.
It's in the same boat as that Call of Duty Vanguard beta. I see it. I picked a good year to take a moral stance on Call of Duty. Also, it's like, well, I'm not missing anything. All right.
No,
that's rough. Can we make this the title of this episode Ainsley Bowden exposed? Now that we know that this chair situation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Bold letters, font. We need. Just wait. Act shocked. Get your face. Act shocked. There you go. Sides of the thumbnail.
Someone's gonna make that really bad gif out of that one.
Just put the yellow chair front and center.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Graham's gonna edit our faces somewhere. It's gonna be.
It's gonna be rough.
Uncomfortable.
It is. It is. So, can a Book of Spirits? Is that what it's called? Book of Spirits.
Bridge of Spirits. Jesus.
Bridge of Spirits. Well, no. Well, famous Seamus said Spirit of Spirits, and it threw me off. So this Kena game, Kena, came in hot. People were not thinking it was going to be good. Only a few outlets got it. They handled their own PR, which is not a good move. Turns out it's great, and a lot of people are really enjoying it. Yeah?
Yeah. It
seems like it.
It very much is. Oh, I got a code, by the way. Luke Lorm.
Yeah, I saw you tweet that out. You're like, look, everyone, we got a code. And I wanted to be like,
well, Joseph, you made fun of me when I did it.
Because when I do it, it's pizzazz. It's classy. No, so we're seeing in 2021 the revival of the classic platformer. What's
just mimicking you.
Okay, cool.
I'm just mimicking you.
No, we're seeing like the PS2 platformers of old come back in big ways. So we got Psychonauts, we've got Ratchet and Clank, and Kena to me has the level design of a Jak and Daxter. Like when I'm traversing through that game, that's what it's kind of giving me vibes of. It's very much a feel of a classic platformer of the PS2, or even I would say N64. So yeah, I would say the PS2 era. The combat feels pretty darn great. The only frustrating thing is the camera angles. They get stuck sometimes in combat, or just like traversing. There's some puzzles as well where the camera angle is just very weird and wonky. I don't know why they chose some of the puzzles they did, because there's one where like you're controlling the rot, which are your little Pikmin, in their natural form, which is like this pretty much just tidal wave that you're traversing through the level as, or you're guiding. And just the way that you're maneuvering, you can't control the camera, because on one stick you're controlling Kina and on the other stick you're controlling the rot, and it just makes for a very awkward maneuver. But other than that, it's a really solid game. Like, level design is pretty good. They need waypoints on that map. The fact that they don't, and I get lost constantly, is a bit of a ding. The sound design is incredible. That's where, when I heard like, oh, this is Legend of Zelda vibes, it's not in its level design or combat. It is in its musical score. Like, we go back to that Majora's Mask fan remake. That the spirit of Majora's Mask lives in this game.
That's cool to hear.
Yeah, and 110%. It's like N64 Zelda music realized in modern day. It just sounds great, and it looks so good. I wonder how many people worked on this game, because it is an indie studio, and they
it's like 16 or something.
Stunning. The game looks great, and the cinematics that they have as well are really, really well animated. It also has some traversal akin to an Uncharted as well. So like when you're doing the rock climbing stuff. Overall, it's a really good game. I don't know where I land on it. Definitely not my game of the year, but in terms of indies go, wow, just wow.
That's cool to hear. Well, I mean, we've had good indies this year. Hades was the last year game, but I got to experience it this year. Death's Door is on my game of the year list. Kina sounds like it is landing on some people's lists.
Yeah.
I mean, is it going to be in the conversation?
I for the trophy room, I don't think so. For like Game Awards, I don't think so either. I think it'll be up there for like indie game for sure. The one thing that I do give like a big ding is like, I'm not really a big fan of the voice acting all too much. The voice of Kina she kind of sounds like she's just reading. They hired real kids for these two spirits that I'm interacting with, and I'm like, oof. But like there are some other ones that do a decent job. But yeah, again, this is a great little title that punches above its weight. But I would not say that this is on a Hades caliber. Where like that game deserves the accolades. It really does.
Is it a lifelong exclusive?
No, I think in like a year or two it'll come to other platforms.
Yeah, it's timed.
That looks like
They
a
haven't
perfect
for that
Switch
long.
game.
Yeah. I honestly, I would like to see this on Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
I think it
Although
suits
it'd
that
take a
audience.
huge graphical hit.
Huge.
Really? Yeah. In screenshots, it's like, oh, I can see that on Switch. But in motion, a lot of particles, a lot of movement, physics.
A lot of particles.
Well, it's funny because you were talking about how distant the One X feels, and especially the Xbox One, right? People forget the Switch is not even as powerful as an Xbox One from 2013.
True.
So, I mean, that's why it has struggle running these bigger games that are kind of ported over.
I need a Metroid dump onto Switch so I can redo it, because like Dread is not enough to get me back. It's not to get me back.
Have you seen the guy who did the Metroid Prime trilogy via emulation in 4K on the Series X?
No.
Yeah. Now the assets are obviously still GameCube, right? But resolution-wise, the sharpness is 4K, because you've seen the videos of people using the Series S and X as emulators, right?
Yes.
Some guy got Metroid Prime trilogy running in 4K on it.
That's cool. That's such a good trilogy. Like, I loved 1 and 3, like Corruption. Echoes didn't jive with me at the time, but I think if you cleaned up some of that stuff, I would love that. Get that. I don't know. I don't understand Nintendo, but you can kind of use Bluetooth now.
Stop it.
Kinda.
Stop it.
The year
Kinda.
of our
Don't
Lord,
don't get me started.
No, it's cool. And so you can like, if you want to connect a controller in your headphone, okay, you can only connect one or two, but at a time. Whenever Joe mutes, my mic goes dead, so it's like weird. It's like my headset goes dead. Yeah, I don't. It's weird. It's freaking me out. It threw me all off there.
Gotta do it again, just spite.
Oh yeah, that's odd. That's like being in those rooms with the sound filters. Yeah. Oh man,
his train of thought completely ruined.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
He is ready to move on.
It happens like an hour into every episode too. Have you guys
And
noticed
you've
that?
been playing Deathloop.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Have we not talked? We haven't talked about Deathloop.
What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts?
How are the
Deathloop's
colors?
Deathloop's really good.
How's the
Colors
culture?
aren't its specialty. It has culture. Some.
It's got culture.
Yeah. Some.
Quick side note. Speaking of colors, did the Sonic colors, was that good enough to buy? I want that game.
Not on Switch, apparently.
No, I don't. Come on Xbox.
All right, settle down.
Stupid
Sonic's
question.
not even that great. So.
We just watched it in school, so I was. Yeah.
Deathloop is good. Let's get back to the good games.
Yeah, please.
Deathloop is amazing. Did the review for it, played it way too much last weekend. It's really, really good. I think it is a testament to Arcane and their talent and their continued kind of innovation within their own space, meaning they build upon their own things like level design, character building, etc. And they create this wonderful game. So yeah, it's fantastic. If you haven't played it, you should be playing it. And I will take this moment, even though Joe's on the show, to say after you play it, go play Prey, because Prey is still the best game Arcane has made.
Yikes.
Haven't played it. Arcane was never my game, or my developer, I should say.
No, yeah, same. But like, I always respect them. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
same.
like, yeah, they're making this is some really good stuff that I'm just not into. And as someone who's not into Arcane games as much, like I've never finished them. I gotta respect them. Like Dishonored, I respect that franchise. I always get close, like maybe 2/3 of the way in, and I just kind of like. Oh, I'm sorry.
Keep going. Okay? I'm good.
All right.
That's what he
Yeah, it sounds like
Joe.
you finished anyway. So
That's what he sounds like.
oh, jeez.
Are you confirming?
Anyway, there's a romance I'm not aware of on this show. So, as someone that's not into their games but respect them, Deathloop is the first game of theirs that I have beaten, and I plan on platinuming it. I'm at 81% right now. There are two trophies in the way of the plat that are legitimately difficult. There is a third one that is annoying because of the online presence. It's the one where you have to kill 3 visionaries on a map without getting spotted at all. And it is incredibly difficult on that alone. But the fact that Juliana seems like she's always evading me in this level, and the setup to get all those 3 visionaries takes about like 10 minutes. It's a lot. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to platinum it, but this is a stellar game, man. Ains, what is your favorite thing about I was gonna say Deathloop?
Favorite thing. I think the mystery. So Colt is an amazing character, and his voice actor is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But I think the coolest part about it is, it was kind of sold as this roguelite in a AAA space, and it has those elements, but it's not really in the same way. Like, I love that you do what you want each day in the 4 periods of each day, and you slowly kind of unravel this mystery and uncover the secrets behind kind of what's going on, relationships, and etc. And you feel like, I don't know, it feels almost like you're James Bond while in a mystery game. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it really vibed with me.
Yeah, same.
I'm hearing consistently that it's Dishonored, but with just a multiplayer element. Is that a fair statement?
It's like it's got a lot of elements of Dishonored. It's got a few elements of Prey. It builds upon Prey Moon Crash, which very few people played, because Moon Crash was the expansion for Prey, but it was a roguelite. So it took Prey and basically turned it into a roguelite. And it builds upon all those elements and creates this one kind of hip, kind of stylish game with all those elements mashed together.
Yeah. You mean reuse assets?
I don't like reused assets. I am not a fan. It can be the best game ever, and I don't want you to reuse it.
No.
And you can only get into a car one way.
That's right.
That's it.
Right.
Ass first.
You know what I'd like to see when Deathloop comes out to Xbox is Microsoft to do like an Arcane month where they spotlight each of Arcane's works, because those are criminally underappreciated games is all I ever hear. I've never played Prey. I couldn't get into Dishonored. I haven't played Deathloop. So I'm a good example of this, but everybody consistently tells me how great these games are. It would be cool for them to spotlight each one in the lead up to the Xbox release to really kind of showcase this developer who is such high quality, but maybe not getting there.
I'm also very interested when all the lamestream media outlets review Deathloop lower on Xbox, because they're all Sony ponies.
It is.
I was thinking the other day that, to your point, Luke, if it's a 1-year exclusivity, right? Depending on when Redfall lands, they could have kind of an Arcane back-to-back launch next year, because Redfall is supposed to be summer, which, given everything we know, could end up easily being like September or October. Yeah. So yeah, it could be a really kind of 1-2 bang for Xbox next year.
Let me just let me just solidify this marketing. Here you go. Xbox free kudos here. You launch Redfall, then a month later you got some Prey DLC looking stuff, cosmetics in Redfall, whatever, just references to Prey in Redfall. And then you might
not know that the legendary shotgun you get in Deathloop is from Prey.
Yeah.
And then you do the next week, you do Dishonored. Then the week after that, Dishonored 2. Then you release Deathloop. Guys, I figured this out.
You got it. Congratulations, you idiot. What is your favorite weapon, Ains, in Deathloop? Because there's one that is just such a dumb, stupid, cool idea that I love, and and the weapons in reality don't do that great. And then there's an actual this is a good weapon through and through.
Well, I think you and I actually talked about in DMs that the gold silence pistol is overpowered as hell. You can basically go through the whole game with that thing if you need to. My favorite gun would probably be once I did almost the whole game stealth. And then I got to the point where I was powered up. I was like, let me try and mix it up. And I was going to run and gun a bit. And my favorite gun ended up being the auto loading, the big round barrel shotgun. Yes. Because you can just you can one shot 6 people in a row without even reloading once you power it up. And it's just ridiculous. Actually, you can, if you put the top trinket on it, it actually has 2 clips, 2 of those round things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can just barrel through entire rooms of people.
That's awesome. My favorite one, I think, is called the Duelist, where it's you pick it up and you automatically duel these just bejazzled looking pistols.
Yeah,
and then you hit the right D-pad and you combine them into an SMG.
Yes. Yeah,
that cool. Gun doesn't work like you want it to, but it's just so cool in theory that you have to try it out. I love that one. The one gun that I feel like didn't get enough love is the nail gun. It never dropped for me. And
You never got one?
Rarely ever. There's 2 that I ended up picking up. One was, it's so much fun. It's, you shoot the nail and it's like a bomb on it and he explodes. That one is just so much fun to me. Yeah. And I want to know this from you, Ains. What's your favorite ability? Because I found once I got Shift and the telekinesis connecting consciousness together.
Nexus. Yeah.
Nexus, there you go. That's all I ever wanted to ever use.
I use those 2 in invisibility. Invisibility is a lot of fun because I would basically just, walk right past people or assassinate them. Invisibility is fun in any game. Yeah. So those are the 3 I use. The Nexus was amazing, especially did you use it when you go to what's his name's party? And there's rooms full of people. You can just connect them all, and like you can just see them all fall over like dominoes. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I think I think the most I connected was like 20 people at Alexi's party.
Alexi,
where like
that's it.
yeah, like there was because like there's I think hundreds of people in that mansion.
There's a lot, yeah.
And there was one part where it was a herd of them coming at me, and again, like 20 of them right there. I threw the connector on him or Nexus on him. I just shot one in the head, and I just saw all the bodies just plop.
Yeah.
I'm like, this game is awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's really
I
good.
love it.
Luke, you have a PS5, right?
Yeah.
Do you?
He never uses
Oh.
it. He's one of these
You can literally
creators that
see it
goes
right there.
Nah,
See it?
Right. No.
it's behind the TV.
Oh.
On the TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Behind the TV, never playing it. Freaking Xbot.
True.
Exactly. Oh, I bought
True.
it. And let me tell you something, guys. I'm never gonna buy a $70 game.
That's verbatim. It sounds just like me, actually. No, I bought it specifically to play Miles, and I have not played anything on it since Miles, which kind of is a bummer. But I'm so like it's my exclusive machine for sure. But
Your
I will
exclusive
say,
machine that you don't play any exclusives on. Got it.
but I will say that
Makes
Ratchet
sense.
and Deathloop both hit at times where I was just doing other stuff. Ratchet is one that I am absolutely going to
Like
get this
playing
holiday.
Control again, apparently.
Yeah, totally. Alan Wake's coming, bro. Alan Wake is coming. He's been in the darkness for 10 years, Ains. It's crazy.
I hate
crazy.
this so much.
No, I've got Ratchet. It's on my holiday list. Like once soccer season's over, Ratchet, Forza Horizon, and then Halo are the order that I would like to go in starting in November. So planning to start Ratchet once soccer season's over in November. And then after that, then Forza Horizon will be one of my games. And then Halo Infinite will be out. Oof, so excited.
Yes.
So excited.
So I've been playing. I mentioned it briefly. Tales of Iron. It's this little indie game, but it's reviewing really well. It's really really neat. So if you're just looking for that little 2D kind of action game, Tales of Iron, you're actually a rat named Reggie, and it's got like it's narrated by The Witcher, by Geralt's voice from the game. I forget the gentleman's
cool.
name. But it's got like this narration laid over it, and then it plays a little bit like Salt and Sanctuary. So it's got like
Nice.
kind of shield combat, parry, roll. It doesn't have all the Souls elements, but it plays like that, and it's actually really cute. I've been enjoying it, so I might actually review it later this week. We'll see. But again, just one of those little games that kind of came out under the radar, but is actually quite good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Can I make a request of listeners? I mentioned spooky games, but not horror games. If you guys have spooky games, would you send them my way or let me know what they are in the comment section or on Twitter? I love spooky. I love Halloween. Horror isn't always what I do. I like Resident Evil and stuff, but like the jump scare games, like the $3 to $5 jump scares. I don't care about that stuff.
Did you play Until Dawn?
Yeah, I loved Until Dawn, actually. Until Dawn was fantastic. It sounds funny to say. There's a moment where a beaver jumps out of a cabinet. My wife and I, off the couch, we were playing that together as like we went off the couch when this beaver jumped out. And that has been a source of constant amusement.
So did you play fucking beaver. Did you play
Man of Medan is not fun.
Man of Medan's not good. No, but the second one, God, why can't I remember it right now? I played with my wife twice.
Oh, like Little Hope or something, right?
Little Hope. That's it. Thank you. That one's a lot better than Man of Medan.
Is it?
Okay.
Is
yeah,
it
it's
really?
not. It's not fantastic. It's not as good as Until Dawn, but it's closer. And remember that House of Ashes, the third one, comes out next month.
I could see. Let's see. What's a good price for that? To play Little Hope? You say?
Little Hope, dude. You could get it for like $15-$20 now.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and actually, the kind of the cool thing for the audience as well is it has a movie night mode where so you can sit with your wife and play at one player and play together, right, as you always do. But it has a movie night mode for 5 people, and you actually can play individual characters in the game in co-op.
What if you're single, but like you're single because you want to, because you're
Because you want to be,
yeah, not because you're alone.
like
and
your
like
freedom?
you're gonna die alone.
But also,
I think it has online. I think it has online.
Okay,
You're good.
cool. Because like, it's not my fault that things don't work out. You know.
No, it is. It is. And your parents
It
are
is.
separating. Also your fault. Okay.
Or is it your fault, Luke?
It's a little column A, column B. Whatever. We all hate Joe.
That's true. Yeah, that's
So,
true.
so,
I am
you're,
just
so
like,
what you're telling me, Ains, is that this Little Hope game can
Yeah.
figure out co-op, but Halo Infinite can't.
Are we,
Shame.
we're doing this.
It's
we're
a
doing
shame.
this.
It's a real shame.
Gosh dang shame.
Let's never forget that The Last of Us 2, which won all these awards, didn't have multiplayer.
That's right.
At launch or something.
Instead,
I don't know.
instead.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
actually what started PlayStation dying. Was that
Really?
launch.
There's no way to
Yeah.
enjoy that game. Is a
Yeah.
fun fact.
Wow.
A lot of people don't
Very
realize
true.
that.
That's
Yeah.
actually true. That's actually true.
Can you
Wow,
imagine
we've learned
if,
so much this episode?
if Joseph Ferris didn't have co-op? It takes one. That's what it'd be called.
That's
Takes
right.
one.
He's,
Right.
anytime
don't
I think about
realize that.
Joseph Ferris, I just start laughing. What a guy! Like, what a guy! What do you think it's like to be his spouse or partner?
The
You know?
first game would be No Way Out.
Yeah, exactly.
You could just sit in your cell
No way
all
out.
day.
Well, this sucks. It's gonna blow your mind. What was the first one he did? Tale of Two Brothers or something like that?
Just brothers.
Bruce
Just-
Brothers, yeah.
Was
it
it
was
brothers?
his brother.
It was like single child.
Single child.
Just
Only
single child.
child.
Yeah, only child is even better. This
What is
joke's
this
run its course,
episode?
but I like it. I like it.
This
There
is,
wasn't a lot
this
of
is
news,
the
so
quality
we've
that
just
people
been-
tune in for.
This is
That's
Stream
right.
of Consciousness episode. That's the title
I like
right
that.
there. Stream of Consciousness episode.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
No, I want this to be the Insider episode.
The Insider. When I saw the email said Halo Insiders, I was like, yes, I did it, guys. I did it.
Didn't you have something you actually wanted to talk about in that vein? Or no?
About being
Or were
an
you just
insider?
calling people out? No, Joe. I thought you had
Oh
something.
no, I'm just sick of it. You grow up, and you're not going to be the next PewDiePie. So just give up. Don't strive
Yeah.
for that. Just
And
make your
don't
own
try to
content,
be
be
like
your own
PewDiePie,
creator.
for God's sake.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
would you want to be?
Jesus.
That's where you'll find success is when you're happy with the content that you make and not with the numbers that you hit.
Yeah,
Whoa,
it's got to
whoa.
be.
Getting deep.
It's got to be that. And I talked about this during my kind of reflective point on XCP is there's a point that I had to get to as a content creator where it's like it needs to be fulfilling. And if I'm
Yeah.
chasing a number, if I'm chasing something and miserable because I hit a number and then the next week I have to hit a bigger number, that's no fun, man.
No, it's
I just-
grind.
That's not what I want to do. You know,
Mm-mm.
not at all. It's not worth it.
And I'm sorry I couldn't get through your show. I couldn't hear past my own booing. But I'll give it a go next week.
I asked myself to quiet down. It wasn't working.
I was like, but he really sucks. I really
It's
hate
just
him.
terrible. I can't get through it.
The best
get
part about it was when I said it in our little chat, I was like, guys, episode 1, I did it. It's posted. The first thing Joe says is, Luke, you suck. I had hit play on my own episode to make sure audio was sounding good. That was the part where I was like, and I want to thank first Joseph Moran. He was the first person I gave shout outs to. And in the chat, he's like, Luke, you suck. And I'm like, all right, this is nice.
But then I gave you a real tweet. It was nice.
You did.
I posted something last week about, I don't know what it was about now, something good. And you just, Luke, you just responded with a gif of a paper unfolding saying you suck. And I was like- and I think I tagged a big company on it too.
Oh, God.
I remember that. That's a good gift.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was now. I gotta look. I'll
He
find
just
it.
opens it up and just whenever I think you suck, I think of Stewie from Family Guy just going, "You suck." It just gets me. It just gets me.
I like the show, you guys. I think it's
too.
pleasant.
I do as well.
Yeah.
I like
Hey,
that Ames is
Luke.
finally tweeting. Yes.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How's the whole work-life balance with podcasts and all that?
Rough. Why do you ask? Wait, is this a
No,
bit?
because it's not a bit. I'm
Oh.
genuinely because I find that it's not much of a problem for me.
I think you will find that over time it becomes one early on, but also you and I work 2 different jobs in this.
I mean,
school
it's
system.
pretty much the same.
It's not. It's not. But
I've
it
seen
is.
how hard you teachers work.
Yeah, right. to me, it's a matter of bandwidth because my introvert meter runs out over the course of the day.
Sure.
So I'm great in the morning, but by the evening, my brain just fades away and I'm ready to shut down. So that's a tough thing to figure out for me. And I wonder if like 3 months from now, 4 months from now, you have to adjust your schedule or timing or whatnot. But I notice your patience is different. Your patience for like dumb drama goes down. Exactly. It's like I don't have time for you. I don't care about you. You just start getting rid of that stuff.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
So this was my post, Luke. I said the broad positive response to our recent game reviews and the trust you placed in them has been incredible. Know that I and everyone at Season Gaming appreciate it. I said we're excited to bring you more in the future and working hard to do so. And you just said you suck.
It's good.
I feel like when you did that was pretty recent, pretty fresh off when I had this bomb intro last episode, and you crapped on it right away.
You plugged yourself in the intro. We don't do that here. You wait.
Yes, we do. That's the whole point of this.
Wait. But, did you guys plug the trophy room when I was?
No,
late?
you were late. You missed that.
No.
I was here on time last week, and he didn't let me do it.
That's fair.
Yeah, we plugged some terrible PlayStation content creator.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
I can't
So you
think of
plug
any.
Saltiest Gaming.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fair enough.
God.
Oh,
What a journey.
yeah.
What a journey. Well, boys,
So
I think
that's-
let's call it.
Yeah, let's call it. This has been a nice episode.
I enjoyed it. It was a lot more low key.
This was a
but I
casual
liked it.
chat, is what this
Yeah,
was.
I loved it.
nice.
You
Oh, I
kidding
loved
me?
it too. I'm not saying anything negative about it.
You just text me. I'm so
came
sick
off.
of Joe. Can we get him off the? I wasn't supposed to read that out loud. It's really awkward.
Yeah.
Let's reflect on me.
Okay. Sounds fair enough. I like how we're outroing the show, and Luke was just like, "Let's bring it back to me."
No, I was gonna do my outro first.
Oh, okay, go.
Guys, you can find my content, the Xbox Expansion Pass, on all your podcast services, including YouTube, if that's where you choose to take in your content. My most recent episode was episode 100 and has a really cool interview with Kritsia Bajos. And she is in Halos 4, Halos 5.
I don't think they're called Halos.
Maybe she alludes to Halo something else. Maybe we're going to talk again in a few months.
Like an unlimited number?
Perhaps an unlimited Halo Unlimited. Yes. She references it briefly, but we're going to talk again once some more of her projects are public. But she talks about a lot of stuff that she's been in. Miles Morales, Cyberpunk, a lot of the challenges of... No one's played Cyberpunk. God, that's what he sounds like. I'm really worried. Really and truly, episode 100, cool stuff aside, that interview, really cool stuff in there. And I'm anxious to talk to her again next year when some of her projects that she's working on come public. There's some cool stuff there, and I'm stoked on that one. That's fun. That's cool stuff. Yeah. But the Halo Infinite stuff, like getting to work on a Halo franchise, getting to work as in Miles Morales, and she's in Gotham Knights, playing the same character that she was in the Telltale Batman series, Renee Montoya, but it's not the same version. That's really cool to hear her talk about. So that's a cool interview. I would recommend that one for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gotham Knights, though.
Oh God, I'm so excited.
Can't
DC fandom, y'all. And if that leak, GeForce Now leak, is true, there is actually a Man of Steel game. I will lose it. Can you imagine a Superman game in Unreal Engine 5? If somebody can figure out the formula to
Xbox exclusive.
That's right. That's required. I hope it's not exclusive. I don't want anyone to miss out on superheroes.
If they make a Superman game, and Man of Steel would be awesome because I love that movie. Fantastic.
And if they can nail the
Fantastic,
formula
yeah.
for a game.
Do you think, would you want, personally, as you're such a big fan, would you want Henry Cavill to voice him?
No. What I would want is their own actor, kind of like Yuri Lowenthal is the Spider-Man for video games.
Fair.
I would want that, but skins are everything. Like, let me be the Superman from Superman and Lois. Let me be Christopher Reeves. Let me be Henry Cavill, Brendan Routh. I want to be all of them. I think that's important for games. Spider-Man does a great job of that. They got the Stark suit in there. They got the Iron Spider. let us be our fantasy version of whatever character. Batman does this. I want that. So
Fair.
that's it. Man of Steel is probably just a working title. It's probably just a Superman game. If they can figure the gameplay out, I'm down. Because you can do flying, combat, but who are you going to fight?
By the way, Brandon Routh's Superman, not the best movie, but the scene where like the bullet hits his eye and breaks is so amazing. I love that scene. I love that. So
cool. And then the plane save was really cool. But he didn't throw a punch the whole movie. That was kind of sad.
Yeah. They're building land in the ocean. Did you know that?
That's the same premise of Superman's 1 and 2. That's why that was the whole thing. Is it's a sequel to those two?
But it just it didn't.
It did not. No. I agree. But Kevin Spacey, it's pre knowledge about him. He's a really good Lex Luthor.
Kevin Spacey was an excellent actor. He just it turns out not a very good person.
Yeah.
Which don't meet your heroes, kids.
Do not. Do not.
Especially him.
Joe, do you want to plug the trophy room? Too bad you got to wait. Ains, tell us about Bitcast.
Bitcast, live, Sunday mornings, seasongaming.com. We
like a good job with the revamp, by the way.
We like seeing people there. Yeah, it's going okay. No, honestly, Travis has been hilarious. He's a good addition.
When are we going to cancel him? When do you think that's going to work?
He needs to be canceled. It's true.
He's got some...
Yeah.
I know 400 ways to tie a tie.
I know one.
We said we're going to design a tie that says cancel Travis down it. So I'm working on that.
Down with that.
He's a good dude. But we are talking to a few other people about being the fourth. I think I've mentioned that before. A couple kind of not fell through, but just it's hard finding someone that you think is going to fit with what you're looking for.
Saucy takes.
Fit with what we're looking for.
Sorry.
Anyway, no, it's been fun. I told you guys really weird because YouTube's been a mess lately. Joe and you and I were talking about this, and yet our numbers in terms of listening were the highest they've been all year this week, which is awesome. So it's been fun. So check it out if you haven't. But you guys know you're on Season Gaming Channel watching this, so you know where to find us.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you. And click to the site 9 times a day, each of you.
Please.
Thank you.
Yes. Please. Yep. Yeah, we want accurate data.
Also, Ains, you got to stop asking me to be on this show. I don't want to be on.
Oh, speaking of which, Halo Roundtable, boys.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it again. So 3 of us and other people who you're familiar with will be doing a Halo Roundtable, but we're going to have to move the date because I did not expect 2 weekends of flights. So we'll move it back a week to the week after the October flight. We'll more to come on that soon.
Awesome.
I'll have less to say on that one, which is great for some people. Because I'm such a lore buff and you guys are multiplayer experts. So I'm really excited. I'm going to ask so many questions.
Oh, you're not welcome then.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Bye. Me and Joe will be on that.
Yeah.
He already told me he's not playing this Friday or Saturday, Joe. You believe this? Like someone he knows that's important to him is doing something also important and he's prioritizing that over Halo. It's ridiculous.
My wife has been training for a triathlon, the first of her life. So
pointless.
Yeah.
Absolutely pointless.
And you really want to be there for her?
Yeah. Right? And I planned her a surprise party.
That's who you should be there for.
Hey, I'm here. I got 2.
Hey!
2. Look.
I don't have a second one on hand. Damn.
You have one over your left shoulder. And then if you look we got them all. Yo, there's so much Halo Infinite merch out there, and I'm so excited. It makes me so happy.
That's a lot.
Did y'all get that controller?
I got the controller, though.
I got that thing.
Yeah, I got that.
Sorry, Joe. Go for it.
That's all right. It's okay.
We're trying to talk Xbox here, Joe. Jesus.
I know.
Go play a Deathloop controller.
Yeah, like the games that are going to be the game of the year this year or Xbox Studios games? Huh? Did you know that? Don't you know?
Yeah, that's good for everybody. You dummies.
Yeah, but like, if they were solely on Xbox, it'd be 7s.
Thanks for beta testing Deathloop, Joe.
Yeah.
You loser.
Egg on my face, stupid idiot. Anyway, you can find the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. This Thursday, we're gonna have Miles on the show. Miles Dompierre.
Nice.
Of
Great
Windows
dude.
Central.
Great dude.
Yeah, very excited to have him on.
A very the type of person you want to be who covers a specific platform but covers it in the right way.
Yep.
Yes.
And manages to avoid all the drama.
Yes.
Despite being
calls
on all
it
the
out
shows.
as well. And calls it out.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why I wanted him on, because I feel like there's a good parallel between the Trophy Room and what he does at Windows Central. Oh, okay. Well, you listeners, you can't hear this. Luke's being nasty.
I mean, you feel whatever way you want to feel, Joe.
All right, see, that was better. A little bit more insulting, but somehow better.
I have tact. Luke does not.
I do not. Hey, Joe, before we get out of here,
Mhm.
are you excited about the Venom movie coming up?
God.
So again,
Oh, geez.
non-comic
We are never ending.
movie guy, right? Non-comic movie. So I don't know, but I hear nothing but like negativity about these movies. Are they that bad, really?
No, they're not that bad. They're just not at all MCU caliber.
So, but
Tom
they are
Hardy
Marvel,
carries it.
right?
They're Sony Marvel, so it's like,
There's-
like there's
So
Okay.
what happened
Marvel.
was
Yeah, go ahead.
Sony bought Spider-Man a ways back, right?
like the
So
actual IP, right?
Yeah, so they own all the Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah,
So they make movies in association with Marvel.
right.
They're not MCU movies. They're not Disney movies, right? So they're very hit or miss. Like, truth be told, their movies can be great, like Spider-Man 2.
I was gonna say, aren't the Spider-Man ones great though?
Some of them are,
They
and
don't
some
age.
of them aren't.
Okay.
And the ones that are great don't really age that well. But that being said, it's film, it's fine.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, like Amazing Spider-Man 2, dog shit. Spider-Man 3, awful. Venom, to me, is an abomination. And there's only one cool scene in that whole movie, and it's just everything else is just
Is Tom Hardy good?
Tom Hardy's great.
good.
That's the thing. That movie would be dog trash if it wasn't for Tom Hardy carrying
Yes.
it. And I like the Venom movie, and I think I'll like the sequel based on the trailer. But to say that you like it is not the same as thinking it's going to be on the level of MCU.
Yeah.
And because of the way Venom exists in those movies, I'm hoping it's an alternate universe and they meet through like multiverse mess, because it doesn't make sense for Venom to not like Spider-Man in this setup.
yeah.
But
Also,
Spider-Man 2, the
go
video
watch
game.
Shang-Chi, because that movie was actually incredible.
I will when they do it to home, because I don't believe in theaters right now because the pandemic numbers are really high.
It's so good.
I'm excited for Shang-Chi to be available. I am.
They go full Bloodborne at one point, Luke, and I was in the theater like I've never
Bloodborne,
been.
What do you mean by that?
I
Big
can't
boss
say
and
it.
perfect dodging, probably.
I can't say it because Luke, and it's still in theaters. I don't
Yeah,
wanna
it's still in
spoil it.
theaters. That's
Okay.
But
fair.
like there is a vibe towards the end where I'm like, let's go.
Okay, I've heard it's fantastic. I don't know. Again, I'm a non-comic guy, but I'll watch it when it comes out to home. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. I enjoyed this show as I always do. Whether there's something to talk about or not, I had a blast, and so I hope everybody else enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn right.
Keep casting that call.
It's not funny. We still do it.